are sure that you enjoyed that piece of music. That was our curtain raiser for this edition of the program, My Word and I. As I mentioned earlier, we will be talking the 21st century education system and career development. I have here in the studio Professor Akisa. Good afternoon to you once more. Who is Professor Akisa?
Thank you very much, Mireille. Good afternoon once more. I've been introducing myself in this studio for a very long time now.
Yeah.
Every time I come, you will say, introduce yourself again.
Because we have new listeners every day.
Okay. If you are listening to me for the first time, this is Professor Akisa, the founder and executive director of DSR Academy of Creative Thinking and Personal Development, and also the executive director of their TV show. I am a personal development expert and my MBA holder of MBA, and I've trained a lot of students to start understanding the education system where we are, knowing exactly what to do and how to build their professional career. That is generally who I am and what I'm doing.
Okay, with regards to our topic of discussion, the 21st century education system and career development, we would like you, to define some key words in what we'll be discussing so that people have a clue of what we are dwelling on.
Okay, yeah. We are talking about the education system and career development. And the key words we are going to be really going deep into is education and then career development.
Right.
Now, when we are talking about education, which is something that, many people always really have a little misunderstanding of what education is. Education is generally the process of acquiring knowledge, information, skills, facts, ideas. Okay. This is generally what education is all about. People always confuse education and schooling.
Yeah.
Now, there are different sectors of education, right? Mm-hmm. So, school is a system of education. It's a sector of education.
The former.
Yeah, which is formal.
Right.
There's another sector of education which is informal, where you don't have to go through traditional way in order to learn. Mm-hmm. But then when you look at the definition of education, you realize that if you are acquiring knowledge, mm-hmm. if you are acquiring skill, mm-hmm. if you are acquiring facts and idea, you are being educated.
Right.
That's a form of education. You must not sit in class or go to school before you are educated. Okay. So this is what many people don't understand, and they think that when you don't go to school, you are not educated. Mm-hmm. There are people out there who have not been to school, but they are very much educated. Mm-hmm. This is what people need to understand. Then we get to career. Career is just about a profession that you build. It is generally, when you want to break it down, it's a calling. The building your calling, the reason, your purpose here on earth. So career development have to do with you, building your profession into reality. That is what career is all about, just your profession. Mm-hmm. Being a teacher is a profession. Being a teacher, you're a profession. Entrepreneur as a profession, right? That is what generally career is all about. So today, when we are going to be navigating through this education, how education system and career development works in the 21st century, that is what we are going to be doing.
Okay, and I would like to find out from you, how has the education system evolved over time, or it has not?
Thank you very much for that question. And this is what is really disturbing with our economy right now. In our economy right now, the education system has really evolved to a different dimension where they have to really look into it.
Okay.
From the beginning, when we started understanding, our parents started understanding what education is all about, which is all about the school system that was introduced as education system back then in the 1950s after our colonial masters.
Okay.
Yes. Education was in an economy that is considered as a job economy. An economy where you just need to, go to school, acquire the right information and the knowledge, and then you will be employed and you start, earning in an office or that. That was generally the type of education system that was there way back in 1950, and it was very successful, a very good one. It was so good with the economy at that time, because when you go to school at that time, there was guaranteed that when you complete your
standard.
Yes, you will be employed.
Okay.
Yes, you will be able to, get to a certain office, and you are well paid, recognized and respected in the society back then. Now, with time, the same system was maintained for a very long period of time, and you start realizing that a lot of people, were graduating from school, and then they were not looking into, accommodating them by creating more jobs, because the more you graduate them, the more you have to create jobs. Good. So the failing started happening when they are graduating more students, people are going to school, more students are going to school, and they are not giving up openings for jobs. Now that was when the transition started happening. With that transition, we are gradually moving to an economy where when you graduate from school, there is no job for you. Now, because there is no job for you, you have to find your own way in order to create job for yourself. That is an entire new system that came in, which is not more a job economy. It is now what they call skill economy, which is where we are today. That means after being educated with the information that you got from school, you need to attach your education with skills. You start realizing that from the definition of our education, we say that it's a process of acquiring knowledge, even skill. But the formal setting of school is teaching mostly acquiring just knowledge, information, not really attached with skill. That's why when we graduate, we move from the normal job economy to the skill economy. There's a very big problem now where we are, because we are now we have been taught in school to acquire information so that it will fit in a job economy, but we acquire the information and we end up in a skill economy. This is where we have a problem. So that is how the education system has transformed to where we are, which is the skill economy.
Yeah, and people should take note that we or you are not in any way, downplaying formal education, because you rightly said that when you acquire, of course, you need to add skills to it to make it, of course, that it gives you some profit, benefits.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, ladies.
Let me just add something, Mireille, which is something that I've been, it has been happening out there, and people really need to really cancel this mentality if they understand how the transition has happened. You start hearing people saying education is a scam. Right? I'm sure you've always heard of that. School is a scam, education is a scam, and all that. This is totally wrong. There is no way you can succeed in any aspect of life without education. You must be educated. You must acquire the knowledge. Let's not, generalize how the school system has transformed. There is a change in the school system, right, that is affecting the economy, and then they just consider that, because you've gone to school and it doesn't match with the economy where you are, it is a scam. It is not a scam. Even those that are mechanic out there, they need to acquire the right skill. It is a form of education, right, that they have to acquire before they succeed. In any aspect of life, we must be educated before we succeed. So we should not consider education as that. You must learn, no, whether you like it or not. You must learn before you succeed. Our only problem is that learning the right thing, acquiring the right thing. Learn to know exactly what you have to acquire. Look at your economy and know exactly what is going to be necessary for you to acquire the right knowledge. Then it's going to be very, very helpful to you. So there's nothing like education being scam out there.
Yeah, and we should also know that maybe some of these things that we hear, these negative talks that we hear, is coming from people who are doing. We are sure that you enjoyed that piece of music. That was our curtain raiser for this edition of the program, My Word and I. As I mentioned earlier, we will be talking the 21st century education system and career development. I have here in the studio Professor Akisa. Good afternoon to you once more. Who is Professor Akisa?
Thank you very much, Mere. Good afternoon once more. I've been introducing myself in this studio for a very long time.